Here's what Robert Kennedy believes about some of the important issues facing the people of New York.
Mr. Kennedy, there's talk about your ambitions about using the office of senator as a stepping stone to something.
Yes.
Would you like to comment on it?
Well, I think, let's assume the worst, that I am. That I come to New York because I'm going to use it as a stepping stone to do something else. But the something else must be that I want to run for President of the United States. Well, I'm not going to run for President of the United States, obviously, in 1968, because there is a President of the United States, and a Democratic President. So the earliest I can run for President of the United States, assuming this terrible thing that I'm doing, that I can't do that till that's 8 years. Now, the only way I'm going to be able to obtain the nomination for President of the United States is done a tremendous job for the state of New York and be re-elected in the state of New York in 6 years. And the only way I'm going to be re-elected is to have done a very, very good job for the state of New York. The only way I'm going to get the nomination is to be a very, very unusually good senator.
Mr. Kennedy, what can we do about our young people who drop out of school and just hang around the streets?
I think that we have to have people go around to every school in the state, people who are respected, explain to the students how important it is for them to finish their education, what it's going to mean for them. I think, secondly, the caliber of education. We have to do all that we can to make sure that the school is attractive, that a child who's going to school feels that there's something that he's going to gain from that school that's going to be meaningful later on, that the teachers are the best. You can't expect a child to sit through a class after class if everything's boring and uninteresting to him. He feels that it offers nothing for him as far as the future is concerned. So our caliber of education has to be improved, and we have to make, I think, an intensive personal effort at the school level to explain the importance of staying in school.
Thank you very much.
Mr. Kennedy, have you got any ideas as how to make New York City a safer and better place to raise our children in?
I think we have to do things in a number of different areas. I think first we have to offer hope to our young people, and that has to be done through possibility of employment. 26.5% of our Negro youth, for instance, are out of school and out of work. Well, if you can't find a job, you don't go to school, then you're sitting around, and idleness breeds sin, and idleness breeds crime. So I think that we have to make sure that our children, Negroes as well as white, have an adequate education so that they can find employment. Schools in Harlem, for instance, in our study that we made here, a child going from the 3rd grade to the 6th grade drops 10 points in his IQ. By the time he gets to the 8th grade, he's 2 years behind children going to school elsewhere in the city. Well, he's going to have a very, very difficult time finding adequate employment. Well, that's not just the problem of education, but it's the environment that he's brought up in the home. Nobody's reading a book to him. Nobody's showing him a book. Nobody's having an intelligent conversation. His family is broken up, or nobody's making sure he does his homework at night. I think we have to do more as far as housing is concerned when we consider that we have 1 million people in the city of New York alone who are living in substandard and overcrowded housing, and another 1 million outside the city of New York. If you're brought up in that kind of atmosphere, it's not very hopeful for you. I think there has to be recreation. I think there are vacant lots here that are owned by the federal government, owned by the city, that we could clear away as we did in Washington, my brother and I. We cleared them off, and we made them into attractive new kinds of imaginative parks where people could come play. So all these things can be worked on, I think, if we start to develop programs at the local level and working with the federal government. Fine, thank you.
I'd like to know in what specific ways you believe that you can improve on New York's representation.
I think with a Democratic president, a Democratic majority in the Senate of the United States, a Democratic majority in the House of Representatives, it doesn't make any sense to have 2 Republican senators trying to deal with the problems of the state of New York and Washington. I think we need a Democratic senator. I think it's as simple as that.
I do too.
I'm sure you've heard of Mr. Miller's views on immigration. I'd like to know if you agree with him, and if you don't, what you can do about our unfair immigration laws.
Congressman Miller said that we don't want all these kind of people into the United States, flowing into the United States. In the first place, none of us would be here if we didn't have all these kind of people flowing into the United States. I think that's the first point that he should remember. And I think the second, what is involved in the immigration law that we've suggested is just treating everybody equally. I think relatives should be permitted to come from Eastern Europe, from Italy, Poland, or Greece, or these other countries, in the same way that they can come from Western Europe. And that's what this bill will do. It doesn't bring a great number of new immigrants into the United States, but it does treat everybody equally, and that's what I think we should do.
Let's get somebody to listen to in Washington. Let's put Robert Kennedy to work for New York.